For today's interactive assessment, I went to the Similar Minds website to take the locus of control test and to the seemepersonality.com site to take the Are You Optimistic or Pessimistic test. And today I'm going to start with the locus of control test, which determines, how I believe my locus of motivation, what drives me is from. And my locus of control is actually 50% external and 50% internal, which suggests that I believe my life is defined equally by both my drive and my free will, and that being internal, and external forces, that being genetics, environment, and fate. And to some degree, I would say on the whole, this is pretty much the philosophy that I've always subscribed to in terms of Christianity, because I think there are certain things that we're genetically predisposed to do, and I think that at the same time the environment that we're around can either take those things away or add to them. While I certainly think there are some things that are entirely genetic or entirely environmental, like internal choices, I would say that on the whole this pretty well sums up my viewpoint. From a Christianity perspective, once again, I believe that there are certain things that God has ordained to be in our lives. And in other things, I believe that God does give us freedom in some of the choices that we make in our lives. On the whole, this particular test, I agree with. I would say that I agree with this not only in terms of my own personality, but just spiritually in general. So that was an interesting test to take. Next is the optimism and pessimism report. And I have to admit I was a little disappointed by my results here. I got out of a score of what I believe to be 100. I got 42% pessimism and 33% optimism. So I'm majority pessimistic. And according to this, majority pessimism can have a negative effect on your ability to cope with stress, and it can harm your motivation, persistence, and performance. While I would agree, like I said, I was disappointed with these test results, but I probably would have to agree with this test result. I do tend to see things a little more on the negative side. When I get upset or discouraged with something, I tend to just want to quit instead of pushing through. So on the whole, I would say that while this is an accurate test, it is certainly one that I am not happy with the results of. I felt like I had to be very honest while taking the questionnaire, and these are the results that I received. So my first view on this is definitely something that I need to work on for multiple reasons. First, I feel like God has called us to view our circumstances, no matter what they are, with joy and to give thanks for them. And my go-to response is generally to gripe about most of my work. So yeah, that is definitely something that I need to work on. Overall, I am just while I'm happy to see that there is a very narrow gap, like the gap between my optimism and pessimism is very low. So really happy to see that at least I don't have like a ton of ground to cover and I'm not like super pessimistic. I do feel like that is something that I need to work on from multiple standpoints, because in the end, having an extremely pessimistic attitude is going to adversely affect me both in school and in my spiritual walk, and I don't want anything really to jeopardize either my relationship with God and my career with school. And I also think that this whole question of pessimism is really very important in terms of not just my own health spiritually, but how I relate to other people in terms of witnessing. Because, like it or not, we as Christians, people watch us. And if they see a Christian who constantly views the world in such a dark, negative sense, they're going to associate that, be that fair or unfair, with our Christianity. And in the end, we have to accept that, yeah, we may view the world negatively, but we have to be willing to look at the world positively, remembering that no matter how corrupted or fallen this world was, it was at its heart still created by God. And we have to view it through that lens of God created it, and technically it is perfect. because he made it. It's flawed through sin, but through God's perfect creation, we have to view that with joy. Hope you'll have a nice day.